I'm gonna go back a little further so you can hear that break.
I'd say somebody would do a straight edge band in the year 2002 for the same reason they do a straight edge band in 1982. There's a lot of important issues that still need to be talked about. People are still doing drugs, people are still drinking, people are still ruining their lives, and I don't see how the importance of straight edge has faded over the past 20 years.
I think it's always going to be a positive message. It doesn't matter if it's 3002, you know what I mean? We always need to have, there needs to be somebody who's telling young people, look, you don't have to smoke, drink, do all these things to fit in. You can be yourself.
For older guys, and there's just sort of like 15 years of being dedicated to straight edge, to hardcore. When I knew Tim was doing a straight edge band, I knew I wanted to be involved, so.
I met Ken probably about 1988, 89, we met. So I've known Ken for a long time.
I used to go up to New Jersey back then. We'd go up to shows, me and Mike from Damnation, we'd drive up there and go to these shows, and it was really cool. Tim was one of the few people who I felt, I would want to be on stage with, as far as, this guy's been there just like I have. We've stood for the same things. He's really like a peer of mine, somebody I always respected.
Great, you'll get it. And whatever, I can always nudge him out. So.
And this kid Daniel was like, hey, Ken and Graham and this dude Alex recorded a full-length record of just music, and they never got vocals for it. And, it's freaking great stuff.
Banner 1000 had just ended, and we had the material, and we went ahead. We didn't have a singer. We went ahead and recorded it, and then immediately we didn't try anybody out. My first thought was, hey, let me call my old friend Tim.
One day I open my mailbox and there's a CD, so I'm like, okay, let me check this thing out. And I throw it in my CD player, and the first thing I hear is this drum roll. I mean, it just blew me away. And I listened to it all the way through, and I was like, yeah, I'm into this. This is good quality straight edge hardcore. This is something I would be into doing. So, I gave Ken a call. I told him what I thought about it, and we kind of made some dates for me to come down here in DC and do some vocal tracks. And I think at first it was kind of looked at it as if it was just a project. I took a few of the choice songs that I liked out of there, wrote lyrics for them, and we planned a trip. I came down here and did it, and it came together really well. I was happy with how it went, and I think Ken was happy with how it went. I went back to Jersey, and within 2 or 3 days I had another 8 songs written. It was like lyrics written, so that's basically how it started.
It feels so good to be part of something that I feel so strongly about, and to have like a really solid, awesome sounding hardcore record that is dealing with topics like straight edge, vegetarianism, things like that. It's an honor.
I'm really happy with the way this record is coming out. Basically because we've had a lot of time to spend on this. Any other record I've ever done, it's always you get in the studio, you got 2-3 days in the studio tops. I'm getting in there, I'm belting out these lyrics, blowing my voice out, doing the best that I can in the time frame that we have.
And I think it's cool when you don't have pressure. There's no deadline. There's no tour dates that that we have. It has to come out by. There's no label calling us like we need it by this date. We don't care. I have a studio, and we were able to just work on it when we wanted to, for as long as we wanted to, until things got done right.
Well, in previous bands that I've done, it's always like Mouthpiece was, me and a couple friends, and we were young kids. We had never done it before. We started off, and we just started from scratch. And same with Hands Tied. It was just some friends, and we pretty much, picked up where Mouthpiece left off. But we were still, I still felt like new to it. You know what I mean? But with Face the Enemy, I mean, it's made up of a bunch of guys who've done numerous bands. We're all guys we've pretty much been involved in the scene for a good amount of time. We've all been going to shows for a long time. We've all been straight edge for a long time.
and it kind of shines through on the record, particularly I think Tim's vocals this time around are just like, just about as much from the heart as you can freaking get. I'd like to play in an awesome band with my friends. I'd like to tour the world. And again, to turn kids on to, you know, a positive lifestyle. You know, give up the booze, give up treating people badly, turn kids on to respecting themselves, and conversely, you know, respecting each other, respecting animals, you know, turn some kids on to vegetarianism. It would mean a lot to me.
I think Tim's really singing out to the kids.
It's a release for me. It's a huge release. You know, I've been in hardcore for a while, and you know, it means a lot to me. And to get up on stage and get up there and scream about all these things that you just feel are so important, it's just a huge release. You know, to just get up there and just jump around and just, you know, go crazy, and then to look out there and see, you know, piles of kids that are feeling what you're feeling, that are, you know, they're being touched by your words, you know. Like, that's what I want to get.